In the last episode, our crew had an honest conversation with Bromnus and the Cirrus Elite, thanks to a zone of truth from our cleric. After a brief reunion between Ava and Sergeant Arnie, the Mountain Dwarf Gatekeeper expounded on the history of the Astrals, describing their homelands of Muldoon and Primador, as well as the past clashes between the evolved race and one of Cirrus's founders, Elder Frederick, during his service with New Haven. With these new details, they decided to question Frederick's husk, floating in the mausoleum above the city, but not before scrying for the missing Topknot, the jungle exploring Private Peter Parts, and Claude's cousin Perry, in the freezing Illuminique wilderness. With direct access from Bromnus, Ironhammer was able to communicate with Frederick, his halfling body gray and bloated with a hint of blue glow inside his eye sockets. Learning that the sorcerer had a hand in causing mass destruction to the seemingly docile Astrals, our gang now finds themselves preparing to leave Cirrus as they plan to return to King Dupont for their final reward. Welcome back to Retrograde, a D&D campaign by Fudge Roll. I'm your DD, Derek Day, and with me is Andrew Wakers.
Hi.
Ty Sheets.
Hi.
Ian Jones. Hi. And Jesse Wagner.
Up, bitches.
Is that really what you spent your time on before I joined?
Yeah.
I appreciate it. So I'll start you guys just the very next day. Still up in Cirrus.
Oh, that's right. I was with Arnie at the library.
So if you guys would like to collect yourselves wherever you'd like to go and start heading down.
I'm going to wake up early from wherever we spent the night. And then I'm just going to wait at the gates for everyone else to wake up.
Okay.
Eat my food. Waiting.
And so I've scryed on Topknot, figured out that he's in a dungeon somewhere. Don't know where, though.
Mm-hmm. Some kind of dark room.
Okay.
Barely lit.
Barely lit. I'm assuming it's a dungeon.
No, it's not a dragon.
Well, it's a stone room, I'll say.
It's a stone room.
Cobblestoned walls.
Did the stonework look familiar? Like, did I recognize it? Because I'm a dwarf, I take notice of these things.
Yes, you would have definitely seen this kind of cobblestone work, this kind of masonry around this entire land.
Where?
I was going to say this entire land. Wherever there's cobblestone, it's pretty similar.
So I can't tell, like, different cities' stone masonry work apart?
No. Yeah, the only cities you know of are New Haven and Cirrus. And from what you can tell, the stone is basically the same.
Okay. But the masonry work is all similar.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't tell the difference between a New Haven building and a Cirrus building.
Exactly. You know, it's some kind of humanoid structure.
All right. I'm also going to get up. I mean, I really don't have anything else I needed to do. So I'm going to, I guess, go look to collect my friends, and we need to get off. I mean, we should start in New Haven.
Were we sleeping in the tavern? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's where we have free rooms. So
I was sleeping wherever Arnie was.
Yeah, I want to wake up. I want to go down to the bar area and just ask for a little hair of the dog.
The hairless Claude will exit the kitchen, cleaning up any bowls or messes left from your other members, and will set down 2 mugs of ale in front of you on the house.
Thanks, Claude. I had a rough couple days, and I think this is gonna help set me straight here. I'm just gonna down 2.
I think I want to go back to the tavern instead of the where the portals are. I completely forgot that Toad is still there.
That's fine. Yeah, as you enter in, you can see Penelope finishing off his ales.
Well, if both my party members assuming all of my party members are at the tavern, that's also where I'm at. So
That's definitely where Ironhammer is.
yeah, I do actually have some things I would like to talk to Toad about. So
Okay. You can assume he is still in the bedroom. Door is closed.
I'm gonna enter without knocking, just kind of
Seeing Felix heading that way, I'm gonna walk behind him, and on my way over, I'm gonna pat Penelope on the back. Morning.
Morning, Stenwick. I'm off to.
I think I'm gonna talk to Toad for a minute or so. I guess his best friend's gone. I feel kind of bad about that.
Yeah, I know. Toad and I haven't had the greatest relationship, but maybe it might be something to have all of us there to talk with him, and he might be official. So I think I'll tag along.
Hey, Claude. During the time that you've got to know Toad, have you figured out anything that he likes, things that he enjoys doing with his time? Does he enjoy the fight?
Oh, of course. He's the one that even mentioned using the mud. I have to owe him the amount of business I get is thanks to him. He's a great wrestler.
Penelope, is that something that you might be interested in? Maybe you and Toad can
mud wrestle.
Yeah, I mean, it might be good. Just I don't know, getting out a little bit of frustration or anxiety on your part as well. I know it's been a pretty rough last couple of days.
Well, it might be beneficial, but at the same time, I'm a little afraid to square up against him, just from the past we've had.
Oh, he's a big guy. I mean, we can talk to him at least. If it's something he's interested in. You tagging along then?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And we're all gonna leave alone at the bar.
I'm gonna throw Ironhammer a beer. Throw him some coins. Here you go. Drink up.
He's gonna miss all of it. The drink's gonna fall on the floor. I'm gonna make him clean it up.
What an idiot.
Fucking dummy.
Felix, you can barge into the bedroom, and you can see the bunk bed straight ahead. Up top is a clean bunk, bed made. On the bottom is a very messy collection of blankets and pillows, as well as a hulking figure lying underneath. To your right is Topknot's empty desk.
Is Topknot's little robot cat still hanging around?
You would assume so.
I don't see it though.
Not currently.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of tap Toad and say, "Hey, Toad, wake up!"
Who is that?
It's your buddy Felix.
Felix. Oh, Felix. And in an instant, he will throw the sheets off of him, jump out of bed. In the meantime, throwing the mechanical Hellcat off, soaring into the air as Toad hops to his feet and gives you a bear hug.
I'm gonna hug him back. Say, "Hey, buddy, how are you?"
Not too good. Not good at all.
What's wrong?
Topknot, my buddy, he's been gone for almost a week now.
Actually, why we came to talk to you.
Have you found him?
And we haven't yet. I was just wondering if he had said anything to you before he left.
And Penelope and I are walking in at this point too.
Or left you any kind of note, like anything like that?
Stenwick, roll me a athletics.
12.
No, I haven't heard anything. I went to bed. He was still working at his desk. I heard a scream in the middle of the night. I thought it was a nightmare. But when I woke up, there's just no Topknot and blood on the floor. Stenwick, you and Penelope enter, and you catch the Hellcat as it soars towards the door.
Fuck! What? I'm just gonna drop it.
You drop it,
Oh, no.
and unlike a regular cat, it doesn't land on its paws. It just lands straight on its back. And will
I
crawl
pick it up
away.
and I pet it and calm it.
Looking around, do we see the blood?
Yes, you can see dried patches of blood on the broken wooden panels.
Not tell how old it looked.
It is a darker red color. You can almost chip it off. You'd imagine it's been a couple days.
Being that I know, medical stuff in nature, does it look like a substantial amount of blood, like a life-threatening amount, serious injury, or like, ow, I cut my hand?
Could you roll a medicine check?
16.
There is a decent amount of blood. It does frighten you for a second because it was obviously a wound that does not heal fast and bleeds profusely. However, you notice a tooth that was kicked just from walking around by Toad in the corner.
Can I pick it up and tell what kind of tooth it is? Is it humanoid? Is it like an animal tooth?
It is humanoid.
Is it a halfling, like a little boy tooth?
Yeah, you could picture one of your front teeth just like half a size smaller.
This is definitely a Topknot tooth. I'm gonna say as I put it in. I'm gonna look around and see if there's any little like sacks, pouches laying around. Just a little guy, maybe like a small coin purse.
Yeah, you can pick one up off of Topknot's desk. He's got a couple different collections for tools.
Is it empty?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna put the tooth inside of it, seal it up, put it in my bag of holding.
Do I notice anything else in this room? Anything out of the ordinary or anything that stands out?
If you could roll me a perception.
Looking around the room, is there any obvious entrance or exit other than that main door that would lead into the tavern? Like, could someone enter or exit the room without walking through the tavern?
Let me answer it by answering Andrew's investigation.
Okay.
Stenwick, you can tell that it was definitely forceful. From the way Topknot's books and tools and chair have been thrown around the place. Nobody's touched it up at all. As well as the dust collecting on the window in front of his desk. This was some kind of inside job. The window was not broken into or touched. The door has no loose hinges. It seems like he was in some kind of scuffle and then just blinked out.
Toad, besides yourself and Claude and Topknot, obviously, does anyone else have access to this room?
I mean, the kitty, he can sometimes push the door open, but no, it's just us two that live in here.
Topknot never had any friends over, or you never had any other friends over?
No, I mean, maybe once in a while, but he always liked to keep to his work.
I can see that on the desk here. Is this a book he was working on?
Oh yes. I can't read it, but I like the color of it though. It's a nice dark red color.
Yeah, it is a good color.
Nice shade of scarlet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a new word.
Hey, so kind of off of that in a way, is there anything that you can think of that? Well, you already mentioned that you're not doing so great. Is there anything that we can do to kind of raise your spirits a little bit until we can find Topknot?
Being around you guys is fun. I don't know. I mean, I have been sleeping a lot.
Yeah, it might be good to get out for a little bit, let off some of that frustration. Actually, Penelope here had a good idea to maybe cheer you up. Penelope, do you want to tell him?
Yeah, Toad, I wanted to see, I know I know with our history, we've had a little bit of our own little scuffles, and I wanted to see if he's interested in doing a bit of a mud wrestling match. Just kind of burn off some steam. I promise you there'll be no weapons, so I won't swing my sword or anything, but I thought maybe a little physical contact might be something you'd be interested in.
Roll me a persuasion.
So,
I rolled an 18.
You can see Toad was pretty inquisitive, mentioning wrestling with you specifically. He was a little taken aback. He went to sit back down on the bed, but he can tell that you are not looking to maim him again. Yeah, I should have time if you're ready now.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it now.
Oh yeah, let's do it. And he drops his pants and takes his shirt off.
I didn't think that this was naked wrestling, but if that's what you're into, I
be my guest. This is how I do it. This is how I learned.
if that's what you're into, then I'll follow suit and I'll take my stuff off.
okay.
Have we gotten a D12 for
We have. And
Penelope?
wait, yeah, for Penelope, have we?
We've gotten one for Scarlet, and we've gotten one for the other one.
Trip. Yep.
D12.
Please be a one. Please be a one. Please.
10.
All right. I
Sorry.
think maybe a second.
That's pretty good. I gave Toad a D20. He got a 13.
Toad, yeah, lead the way. We're right behind.
Oh, all right.
Definitely don't want to be in front of him with that thing swinging around.
Yeah, he dashes out of the door. Just thump, 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 thump.
Actually, before I leave the room, could I look around and see if there's any sign that Topknot left any kind of like writing saying that, like pointing to why someone would abduct him? Like, is there anything saying that?
Just a lot of writing about anal fisting.
I know that's the problem. But
You
like,
have to
is
read
there?
through 20 pages of that before you find anything else.
But, and I'm fine with it being like the whole the duration of the mud wrestling. I'm just looking to see if he's got any notes that would show like he was getting somewhere with his research, or
Yeah, if you can give me an investigation, I'll give you an answer after this.
And DM, I do have a question then too. If an inanimate object, if you bring it to life, is it able to talk? Yeah, I'm trying to envision.
I'd imagine you could do that with one of your potions, right? Like the bombs. I'd allow that.
Okay.
I rolled a 4.
So before I run out after Toad, I'm gonna say to Felix, I'm gonna mix up a potion really quick for you. If you're gonna hang out here, this might help with the tooth. If you put a couple drops on it, maybe you could, inquire about the tooth, talk with it, and see where perhaps what caused it to come loose and all that.
And
Well,
if it has a connection with its like teeth brethren.
Will the tooth grow a mouth with new teeth in its mouth?
Yeah,
It's
like
conception.
it's like Chip Skylark in Fairy Odd Parents.
Shiny teeth in me.
Shiny teeth in me. Yep.
So I'm gonna give it. Felix, here's that potion. I gotta go kind of Toad. So do what you gotta do.
All right. I'm gonna probably come out and watch this, but do you want any help or?
No, I think this needs to be just me. I think if I need to focus, and I'm gonna try to see what I can do here.
All right. I'll go out and see how this shit show unfolds. If you need anything, I'm right outside. All right.
Absolutely.
Are you keeping that little fucking mechanical abomination in here with you?
Yeah, why are you so against the cat?
It's just terrifying. I don't know. I think I'm just projecting my own something about cats. I don't know.
Penelope and Toad, you guys can exit the bedroom and line up inside the mud pit. Claude gets out the cowbell and just starts, yahoo! It's an early one today, boys. As Ironhammer turns around, I'd imagine he's the only one watching. You can both line up on opposite ends of the pit. Toad will tell you, we'll do, how about a best of 3?
Sounds good to me. Do this.
You could roll me we'll just do a strength.
Me too.
Toad somehow got a nat 1.
Oof.
If you'd like to explain how you throw him out of the pit or pin him or however you'd like to.
Well, I don't think you should fail it right away, but damn.
It's a best of 3.
Oh.
That's it. They walk out and you just
It's just
throw
done.
them through a wall. Hope that makes you feel better.
Yeah, I'm going to go and just kind of get him over the shoulder and then flip him down into the mud. And with him standing there, I'm just going to put my foot on his chest with everything just hanging out. Yeah, that looks like number 1.
Oh, it's been a while since I've done this. All right, let's go again.
I'm going to help him up.
Hey, let's go, Toad. You got this.
All right, if we could do another roll.
I rolled in that one.
Toad rolled an 11. He's a pretty decent sport, but he also has the tantrums of a child. So right after picking you up, he will push you down. Right after lining back up. That's 1 for the big boy.
Woo!
That's a good one, too.
Felix back in the bedroom. With a 4 on your investigation, you're not able to find anything on Topknot's attacker. However, you can sit down with his single tooth and this potion from Penelope.
All right, I'm gonna put a clear spot out on the desk and set the tooth. I'm gonna look at it and say, "All right, here we go." I'm gonna put a drop of the potion onto the tooth.
Taking
What abomination do I see before me?
taking a couple moments, the tooth does not grow at all. However, it shakes a bit on the table as 2 eyes and a single mouth pop onto the tooth itself. Penelope, if you could roll me 1 more strength.
12.
Toad also rolled a 12.
Oh,
You and him can rush at each other from either end of the pit, clasping your hands together, trying to force one of the 2 down, just hoping for a win. Felix, the tooth stands back up on its on the ends of its cap. Oh, I'm alive! Why am I, dear God, why am I alive?
hey, buddy.
Ah!
It's okay. It's okay. My name's Felix. I think I'm friends with the mouth that you came out of.
Ah! What is going on? What do you want?
I just want to know a couple things. Number 1, do you know why you were not in the mouth anymore?
I was hit. Wait. I was hit. I was over there. What's going on?
That's what I'm trying to get to the bottom of, and hopefully return you to your, 32 brothers and sisters.
Oh, I miss all of them. Terry and Larry and Jerry and Gary. You can stop me at any time.
No, I want to see how many names you
I already ran out.
But yeah, I'm just curious, little guy. Why are you? Do you know what led up to you being knocked out?
The last thing I remember, it was dark. And then there was some kind of blue glow next to the candlelight. And then something hit us, and I blacked out.
So do you know where your brothers and sisters are? Like, can you connect with them at all?
Now that's a question.
That's a question. What is the nature of teeth?
Oh, let me roll. I can feel they're very, very dirty.
Oh,
And it's
brushed.
it's dark and cold.
Okay.
I really
thank
do.
you, Mr. Tooth.
Of course.
Okay.
Are you ready to be not alive anymore?
I don't know what is alive at all. So sure.
How long does this thing stay?
That is 10 minutes.
Okay. I'm going to open up the pouch and say, you want to get back in here?
You say that, it screams no as you drop it inside.
Oh, okay. I'm going to seal the pouch.
Felix, that's it. Take it out. Show it at night on the town. Give it the life experience.
No, I just remembered that I could find Topknot. I have ways to find him.
Locate person.
I don't know if I have that one, but I have locate object. So I can literally pick any item of clothing that he's wearing.
Isn't it within a certain number of?
Oh shit, it
Within a
is.
certain distance?
I'm wearing the hat, by the way.
Oh.
It might be, now that you say that. But maybe if I cast it at a higher level, the DM
man.
would be gracious.
And meanwhile, Penelope and Toad have just been locked.
Yes.
Right, you can vamp back at any point.
Let's roll one more strength, one final one, hopefully.
18.
How would you like to do it?
How deep is the mud?
Like a foot and a half.
As we're locked hands, I want to drop down, kind of underneath, like in between his legs, pull up, and then bring it down and kind of flopping down on top of him. So then, something might be, slapping his face into the mud.
Bites it right off.
You see the fear in his eyes as you get a hold of his body, lifting him up and dropping him back hard, flat against the mud. After a few moments, you see his pain, his wincing, turn into a smile as he starts laughing. That was a very good one. Thank you, Penelope.
Anytime, buddy. Anytime.
Woo! Good job, both of you. Toad, you want a drink? It's on us.
Oh, yes. Oh, sure.
Claude, your finest ale for the champion here. Oh, wait. For the champion and for the runner-up.
And for the guy that got his ass beat.
Claude will pull out a platter of ales and slide it down the bar. Felix, are you joining them up again?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Penelope, once you're clean, you guys can take a seat at the bar if there's anything you need to discuss.
If we can think of a place where Topknot might be, I could possibly find him. As long as he's within 1,000 feet of me, I can cast a spell that will tell me where he is.
How long does the spell last?
1 hour.
Oh. I have no reason to believe the people here are being untruthful. I mean, we had them under the zone of truth earlier when we asked them, but that doesn't mean that someone else here may not have taken them. Maybe we could try it here and just wander around town, see if we pick up anything, and if we don't have anything, then we head on to...
I don't know why I have, and it might just be, you know, my prior mistrust, you know, shaping my opinions here, but I can't shake the feeling that he's in New Haven, especially with the information that we've learned that Private Parts is out, you know, basically cleaning up what we're doing. I mean, if anyone found out that Topknot knows, I mean, if anyone would have known that the Astrals aren't necessarily the bad guys in this equation, it would have been Topknot. He's been doing...
But I don't think anyone in New Haven knew he was here. I mean, you guys had mentioned it when you were there. You were the ones who knew, and people here know. No one in New Haven should know he's here. And
Yeah, they did.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, that he left our party?
Yeah, they knew that. I don't think they knew that he was here with Theorist, though.
Did we never say that?
No, nobody mentioned where he was actually at.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
I think you guys just, if I remember correctly, because I was in the room, you said you lost him in order to get more money. Whenever you were talking to DuPont, right?
I
Did you
do
say,
not
"Oh, we lost a member of our party"?
Give me more money.
Did we say we lost him?
Or maybe Topknot said it after Penelope or after Scarlet was no longer technically the same. I don't remember what it was, but
That might
at some point it was said.
Yeah, I think it was that. I think it was after Scarlet miraculously disappeared.
Yeah, it may have been that. But regardless, no one, when I was there, no one knew where Topknot had gone. Besides that point, they would have had to have gotten up here. They would have known exactly where to find him. And I don't know if you noticed when you were in the room, but there was no signs of tampering, no signs of forced entry. My money's on it's still someone here. Maybe not someone in charge like with Bromnus, but someone here. But we could put that fear to rest relatively quickly within the next hour, if you're okay doing that.
No, absolutely, and I can do it multiple times in a day. So,
but I guess that kind of begs the next question: where we go to from here? Is it New Haven? Is that where you guys want to go? Because if that's the case, things might get heavy.
we need to find out as much information as we can about King DuPont's motives, why he is so strongly against the Astrals, and why his family, clearly his entire family, has been, you know, pushing for their eradication since before any of us were born. And fuck, we're 200 years out of our own timeline. And also, strangely, I feel that the DuPont family and this Astral War has something to do with that.
I think I agree. I think there are connections that we just don't see yet. But
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but we woke up close to New Haven.
We did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it may just be a coincidence, but
it's a continent you guys have said you don't recognize. What about this Primador place? What if that where you originated way back when? I mean,
and that's possible, but how did we get here?
Sure.
Frozen in pods that, I don't know about you guys, but I haven't seen any technology remotely resembling.
I think we're going to find answers either way. The location we decide to go to first. It's just a matter of what we decide to do first. And if the rest of the party, if all of you want to go to New Haven right away, and that's what you want to do, then I'll stand by you for it. But I think just the personal shit, I
also think it might not be a bad idea to revisit the pod room and see if we missed anything.
I've never been there, so that'd be nice to
and get some fresh eyes.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be a bad idea.
Okay. Well, do you we can put it to a vote if you guys either we head north, we grab a boat, we head up to Primador, and then we travel back via trees or plants or however you said, just go right to New Haven from there. Or we go to New Haven and then travel all our way back up north. It's if that's where our journey takes us at that point. But I guess the priority is your friend, though. So let's look for him here first, and then if you want to do New Haven, I would understand. There's not really any other place he could be held if not here. So
I mean, there's the other outposts, but I just feel like the nature of his location doesn't point to anywhere other than
right.
New Haven or Cirrus.
Yeah.
Because when we were in Illuminique and in the Hanami Forest, nothing was really built with stone. I mean, Illuminique was more of a tent city, and Hanami was, you were there, a treehouse. It wasn't a stone structure.
And
now, it's not to say that he's not somewhere.
Yeah.
He's somewhere that we haven't been, but
yeah. Okay. If that's what you want to do, then whenever you're ready, we'll start looking. Toad, is there anything that you need from us before we start looking for your friend?
A hug.
A hug?
He's still muddy and messy, but I'm gonna give him a huge hug.
He'll wrap his arms around you, but he giggles a bit because he knows he's covered in mud still. Just get him home safe, please. And if you do find the chest,
I was just about to bring that up. We think it might be in New Haven, and it seems like that's where we're heading next. Come across it, and we will look. I'll make sure to bring it back to you, or at least its contents.
thank you.
All right. I love you, brother.
I love you too.
All right. Are the rest of you ready to go, or?
I'm ready. I just go over to Toad, put my hand out and say that it was a good wrestling match, and I want to apologize for my previous actions against you. Things were a little rough in the beginning, but I think we'll establish a pretty good friendship, and you're one heck of a guy.
His face just shines with a smile as he'll wrap his arms around you too. That was a very good fight. I hope to do it again with you.
Next time I'm up here, we'll have a rematch.
All right. I'm gonna drop a couple gold or whatever we owe for the drinks. On my way out of the bar, I'm going to go, I'm going to run back inside, run into the bedroom, pick up 2 copies of Topknot's book, and throw some gold down to pay for them, and then I'm going to leave. Before I leave Cirrus, I want to give a copy to Arnie and say, here, something to remember me by.
I do want to head over to Winry's before we leave, though, too. I have a question for her.
Sure, yeah, let's do that. And I'll say in the meantime, Felix is going around searching.
Yeah, I've casted my locate creature spell, specifically looking for Topknot, which I read you can use locate creature to find person.
Ooh, within 1,000 feet?
Within 1,000 feet of me.
Okay. So Penelope, you can enter the apothecary. You can see Winry, her brace is now off her leg, and she's just tending to her garden.
Hey, Winry, how are you doing?
Oh, not too bad. Just getting back into the swing of things. I don't know if you've seen yet, but I let her out. Thank you for talking to me about that. It's been a little too long.
I think that's a very wise decision. Where's she at now?
I'm not too sure. She had to go get a couple things. Go back to her home, tend to her pets. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
I know you've helped me before with developing some unique potions, and there's one that I need some help with.
Sure.
I kind of have the groundworks for it. There's just something that I'm missing in order to complete it. Wasn't sure if she has an idea for the missing link.
Sure. What do you got missing there?
Well, when I create the potion, there seems to be, when you ingest the potion, things are trying to figure out how to say it without letting everyone else know.
You can mute up, or you can, Derek, you did it to me that one time, right?
Oh. Yeah, I'll just deafen them. Okay, you're all set.
Can't hear us.
Nope.
So when I create this potion, you're supposed to be able to create these alternate fragments of possibility. So you're almost able to rewind time. But when I create it, something goes amiss, and it doesn't fully happen. So I wasn't sure if your expertise in.
I've got my blinders on right now.
Yeah, your expertise would be helpful here.
Oh, sure. Any specifics on it just doesn't occur the right way or happens too fast, maybe?
When I create the potion, there's supposed to be 2 fragments that pop up, and you can actually, thing goes amiss, you can break the fragment and it rewinds time back before it happened. But the beads that I create, nothing happens when you break them. I was wondering if perhaps if I use some like liquid nitrogen or something to freeze them, or if that would end up working.
You know what? I do have an idea. She will rush upstairs, and you can hear the trap door open up. You can assume she goes into the basement. She will come back up after a couple minutes and bring out a cube-like object covered in a sheet. She will remove the sheet, and what you see is a black metal cube. I found this after the attack a couple months ago. What I could do is infuse it with some sort of coldness inside, some kind of refrigeration that you could maybe keep the beads in.
That may work. That may do the trick. How big is the box?
I would say it is palm-sized.
Like a test tube, almost kind of size.
Yeah. So you could store, I'd say you could store maybe like 3 or 4 of them.
Winter, if you don't mind me taking this, I think that this would be perfect for the potion, for the beads.
Of course. I think you'd have a lot more use for it than I would.
Do you want any compensation for this? I mean, this is something not normally easily acquired, so.
No, but our friendship is not quite normal either, so just go ahead.
I'm going to take it from her and then go in for a hug.
She will take a quick step back, but then lean back in. Now, be careful with whatever you decide to do with this. I don't know what the exact effects are, but I hope to see you all again.
I'm sure you will. I owe Toad a wrestling match, so a rematch, so I'll be back.
Oh, that's not a good idea. Oh, boy.
And with that, I'm going to turn away and walk away.
I'm probably just talking about souffle recipes and some shit.
Stop talking.
Big old hairy wingers.
All right. Penelope is finished up at the apothecary. Felix, you can walk around the outskirts of Cirrus It's a pretty decent-sized city. However, even with 1,000 feet diameter, you don't sense Topknot anywhere near you.
Okay.
Not even a blip on the radar.
Not even a blip on my radar.
Not even if there was a fire.
So, roughly how far is it from Cirrus to the bottom of the crag? Can I gather that because that he's not in the crag since I didn't sense him from Cirrus?
Yeah, I'd say so.
So he's not in the crag.
No, he's not in the crag. He's in some kind of man-made structure.
We ready to go? No luck, I'm assuming.
I couldn't sense him here. I don't think he's in Cirrus.
Well, that eliminates that. I guess we're taking off. Can we say that we've restocked on food and rations while we were here?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's let's go up to Bromnus's and his house and see if the horse is still alive.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
See if we can take those back. I'm gonna grab food for the horses as well. Just apples or fruits or anything. If they're alive, then maybe we'll feed them for once.
I'll say Penelope could grab a couple from the garden in the apothecary. So how would you guys like to depart?
Can you go back to the platforms? There's still guards there?
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are aware we cleared everything up, right?
Yes, Bromnus has talked to all of us. You are free to come and go.
I appreciate that. Thank you. What's your name?
Clark.
Clark.
What's your first name, Clark? Or your last name?
Gables. I'd like to apologize for how forceful we were.
No need. You were just doing your job, and we were not giving you the easiest time. So thank you for what you do.
Of course.
I think you're a little bitch, Clark.
But please come again.
All right. We will. Thank you. And I want to take the portal to Bromnus. Oh, wait. The portal for Bromnus' hut is not there.
It is still in Hanami Forest.
Hey, do we want to go to Hanami Forest since that's where we saw Peter Parts?
I'd rather find Topknot. That's the top of my priority right now.
I agree. But we could... Hanami Forest could be on our way to Bromnus's, which is on our way to New Haven. Because the portal for Bromnus's is in the Hanami Forest.
True. I mean, it might not be a terrible idea, but I'm just worried about the possibility of having to battle.
Well, let me put it this way. If, God forbid, it is New Haven that took your friend, do you think it might be a good idea that you have someone to trade in order to get your friend back?
It not be a terrible idea.
I know technically I would maybe fall in that category, but I'd like not be being pawned off if possible. Although, worst comes to worst, that is an option. We'll put it up to a vote, I guess. I'm in favor of whatever you guys want to do. Might not be a bad idea, though.
It's probably not a bad idea to go to Hanami. Then we can at least use the portal to Bromnus's. I mean,
Can you do your locate person spell again when we get to Hanami and see if you can find parts?
Yeah, because I can probably do it at least a few times before we sleep.
Do want to ask the guards before we leave. Was there any word from either Luminique or the Hanami Forest in the last day? Anything you've heard? Last we heard, they were trying to reach them.
Oh no, I knew nothing about Illuminique. I know Bromnus had mentioned Rogers though. some sort of visitors, but they were not allowed in.
Did you send reinforcements to Hanami Forest?
Last I heard, there were a group of guards planning on heading up.
Planning, so they have not actually gone yet.
Not yet, no.
Yeah, we should get going. All right. We'll see you guys next time. I'm gonna head into the portal for Hanami.
I'll jump in behind him.
The four of you are sucked into the pink and green portal. And in an instant, you can open your eyes again, as if you just blinked, and you are surrounded by cherry blossom trees swaying in the wind. Directly ahead, you can see the path towards the outpost, behind the path to the ocean, and to your left, a couple feet into the forge, is the portal back to Bromnus' hut.
Oh, I will never get used to that feeling, going through one of those. Felix, do you want to try to activate it now? It's how long is it? Do we remember to get to the outpost from here?
Not too long, a couple minutes maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'll cast Locate Creatures again. This time looking for private parts.
Private Peter Parts. Instantly, Felix, you can sense his presence closer to the northwest.
All right, can I tell his method of travel, or like his direction of travel, rather, if he's traveling, and yeah.
Northwest is away from the outpost, right?
Yes. It is. He is on foot, and he is not currently
In motion?
I mean, in motion, but he's not really going anywhere. He's in a specific area.
Like he would be milling around a camp?
Possibly.
Okay. I'm going to share that information with my comrades and say, so do you want to go see him and see what he's doing? Go to the outpost, warn and make sure everything's okay there first, then go look for him, or just beat feet to Bromnus's and head to...
Oh, we're here. We might as well figure out what's on. I am sorry. You're doing so much today. Is there... I know that you are able to turn into animals on occasion. Is there a way that you could do your bird thing and fly that way, and then just meet us back? We can split up maybe, and you can meet back up with us. Let us know what's going on.
I can do that. That's fine.
Okay, but you're also the one locating object, so shit.
So I can look for him. I know where he's at. I can fly there. You guys can head to the outpost, make sure everything's Gucci. If it's not Gucci, hang out there.
Then
I'll be back in a matter of a minute. Once I locate him, figure out what's going on.
It's a great idea. All right. I guess I'll take the other three. You guys ready? Okay. We're gonna start double timing it toward the outpost.
Since we have to go so quickly, I'm gonna mix up 2 potions for Stenwick and I. They're potions of quickness, so we are speed.
See, Iron Hammer.
We are speed.
Oh yeah, and for Iron Hammer, I guess.
I am speed. I'm fast as fuck, boy.
Not only are you twice as tall, he's covered in iron. He's covered in metal, and he's just a slug behind you.
Just running clear through trees. He's not even running around them or trying to avoid them. It's like the Juggernaut from the 3rd X-Men movie, running through walls and shit.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. Don't hurt me.
All right, and we head to the outpost.
Phyllis, do you have your bird?
I'm looking. I just want to know what's the fastest bird. It looks like all of them are like a 20-foot flying speed, and that drives me... Or no. Yeah, and that drives me nuts. Like, why are birds so slow? No. flies 80-foot flight speed for a golden eagle, but what is it for a peregrine falcon? Oh, peregrine falcon's 130 fly feet speed.
How fast are we going, Ty?
What's your walking speed?
Oh, motherfucker, my walking speed is 30.
A hellspawn hawk.
Well,
Yeah, that's slow.
Now 60.
Oh, that's still pretty good. Well, and we're already moving at twice speed because we're running. So are we at 120 then?
I'd imagine so then.
Right, yeah, I'm going to turn into a peregrine falcon.
That is nuts, though. If a falcon go 130 and you guys are running 120,
Yeah, that is fucking insane.
it almost look ridiculous.
Well, we're probably moving through what would be the... No, wait, it's a path. It's a trail. So, yeah.
What? Why have I never turned into this creature? A giant duck.
Oh, no. No, we're not doing this.
It has a flight speed of 65 and a swim speed of 50. And it's got a strength of 16 and a 17
Jesus
dex.
Christ.
Oh, and an armor class of 13. Oh my god, this might be my new favorite character.
Well,
All the time.
Felix the Falcon, you can take off as our little Sonic the Hedgehogs chug their way through the path.
Fuck.
The three of you can reach the outpost. It seems peaceful. You can see people walking around, chungies swinging from tree to tree. Felix, you can follow them to the outpost. You can see everything's fine. And then you divert to the west a bit. You can reach the area that you'd assume Peter Parts is at.
Well, my concentration spells are still up as an animal, so I could damn near pinpoint him.
And what you see is the same collection of bushes that your group originally stumbled on. You can see Private Parts as well as Captain Mickelson scavenging for berries.
So were they in the berry bush where the big toad was?
Yep.
Where we met the first astral.
Yep.
It's just the two of them.
Just the two of them. You'd assume they have a camp set up nearby, but right now they're just looking for the berries.
Okay. Can I do a circle, starting from them, circling out until I can see their camp?
You can see the camp just a little further north.
Okay.
An area you were never at, never needed to be, but seems pretty serene since the astrals have been annihilated.
Right. Does it appear it's just the two of them?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to make a mental note of where they are. And then I'm going to... Well, first, I'm going to fly over them. I'm going to take a shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, while he's out and about, though, Rogers.
After a minute of the chungies hanging out the side, Rogers will finally catch their attention and walk over to the side of the bridge. Stenwick, Penelope, Ironhammer, what are you guys doing?
We were concerned. We thought that there was a group coming to meet with you from the place where I'm from. I was wondering if they had made contact yet.
Those guys, yeah, we sent them packing. Don't worry about them.
Good. What did they want?
They wanted to investigate.
The same way that I had.
Yes, but I could tell they did not have the same intentions.
Just so we know at least one of them. How many were there total that came to meet you?
Just two of them. Pretty decent looking one. Looks kind of like you and shorter, scrawnier.
They tell you how they got here?
Yes. It was by foot, and then they ended up grabbing a boat.
So presumably they still have a boat docked nearby.
I would assume so.
Did they tell you where they were going?
No, they frankly didn't care to ask. They said they were here to investigate after a previous group had been here.
Yep.
But other than that, no idea where they went.
Did they mention Illuminique at all?
No. Should they have?
Our sources indicate that they may have visited there before they came here, but it seems as though they came here bearing no ill will toward you, at least, so that's a good sign. We did talk to Bromnus and those running Cirrus. They are going to be sending some reinforcements just in case. They should be arriving at some point soon, so I'm sure they've already reached out to you, actually, with the sending stones, so...
Of course, yes. I spoke to Janice on line 3 just a couple hours ago.
All right. I'm sorry I took your guys' best man from you, but he had a reunion. Had to attend.
No worries. We're glad to hear. Oh, by the way, if you do run into those two, be a little careful. The bigger one seemed to have a little bit of a temper on him.
Mickelson. Yeah, I know him well. All right. Well, thank you so much. I just got bird shit. I went back.
Who I was going to shit on.
Oh.
You got a little double dip.
Sorry, I got carried away. Oh, you're shitting on them.
Yeah, I'm shitting on them.
Gotcha. Very nice. And then we're just going to wait for Felix.
Just a minute, Felix, you can arrive as the Falcon.
But did I successfully shit on him? That's an important part of my day.
Oh, shit. Roll me a dex. I forgot to do that.
17 to poop on those fuckers.
Are you doing 2 birds with 1 stone or 1 each?
If I could hit them both with 1 shit, I would save a little poo for Stenwick.
Yeah, you can get Mickelson on the shoulder, but Peter Parts, unfortunately, harder to hit but easier to cover. It hits his head. It hits the top of his head like a cracked egg.
Oh yeah, just.
And you can see them both freak out as it gets all over their collected berries.
I'm gonna and then wheel off into the sky.
Yep. And after a minute, you can see the giant tree fort, as well as the swinging chungies all around.
First thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna circle around. Can I see one of the chungies that have been excessively fucking with me?
Investigation.
15.
Yes. You can see the pair of them.
Oh, they're together.
Yep. Swinging together in one of the trees looking for food.
How high up are they?
Not as high as the tree fort, but decently high. I mean, the branches are very thick.
More than 15 feet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No. I don't know what answer you wanted. No, 10 feet off the
10
ground.
feet?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I would like to
I
try to...
I went with the classic yes and you wanted the no but. That's my mistake.
Yeah, you're fine. I want to try to grab them, one in each claw, and just with enough force to pull them off the tree and then drop them.
Yes, you can grip both of them. We'll say by the back of their necks, by their napes.
The
scruff. And you can soar up actually like another 10, 20 feet just to scare the shit out of them.
And then dive back down.
And then dive bomb and drop them like 5 feet.
And then in the same like wheel up motion, can I like fly by Stenwick and poop and try to hit him?
We know that it does.
And it already did.
Yeah, it already did, so I don't even have to roll. Thanks for that. and then I'm going to land and then poof back into Felix. I've found them. I found Peter Parts and Nicholson.
Yeah, just two?
Just the two of them. I found their camp. There's no other guards with them. They're actually in the berry patch.
I was talking to Rogers. Hey, thank you, by the way. We're leaving soon. He said that they're here just as to investigate, almost as a follow-up from my own. If we can go up and talk to them and tell them that the Oasis has been handled, and then maybe we can convince them to come back to New Haven with us. We can end their side of things, take them back. It might work in our favor, take those extra pieces off the board, at least for some time.
We could, or we could kill them.
That's not an option.
It's always an option.
You don't know if they've done anything wrong yet. All they did was come up and investigate, the same thing I did.
Yeah, and if it was up to me, I'd have killed you already.
Insight check. I rolled a 19.
I roll against that.
Yeah.
What would that be against it?
I don't know. Are you trying to be deceptive, or are you being honest?
Oh, I don't know. I think I'm being deceptive.
I was gonna say, if you're being honest, he got it. If you're being deceptive, then yeah, roll a deception check.
It's only a 9. I was gonna say, you could tell I was fucking with you.
Yeah, I can tell you were fucking with me. But I do say we talk to them, and maybe we can glean some more information off of them. Maybe do some Zone of Truth action. Iron Hammer, huh?
Yeah, Iron Hammer.
Yeah, Iron Hammer.
Yeah, Iron Hammer, you shitty little shit stain.
He's just going, Zone of Truth.
Get fucked.
All right. Do you mind leading us up there then?
Yeah, absolutely. Just follow me.
Cool. While we're on our way, what's our plan? Just approach them, talk to them, or do we want to? Is there anything special we want to do? I mean, there's 4 of us to 2 of them. We have numbers on our side. We're stronger than they are. I know that for a fact. I mean, showing up just with superior pretty well in our favor.
True.
So
Yeah.
And if they get froggy, then
I am going to take the time, though, to change back into my New Haven uniform, because I was wearing the Cirrus one.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
During that, can I take some time to mix up a couple potions?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll say it's a 15, 20-minute walk. After that time, I'll say you guys can reach the outskirts. Bless you. Still in the tree line, but you can see the patch as well as the 2 guards refilling their bags.
Fancy seeing you guys out here.
They both twist around. Parts' mouth just drops. Mickelson eyes you, not believing for a minute.
I'm not sure what's more surprising, you running into me or the fact you thought you wouldn't.
For the fact that you're covered in shit. What happened?
Well, Mickelson talk first. Bosper, Stanwig, I probably could have seen this coming. Not the best day right now, Felix. If you don't mind, as he wipes off some of the white off his uniform.
I just look at Felix.
Just I'm just going to be standing there smiling.
Mission from the king. You know how it goes.
I'm going to turn to Iron Hammer and whisper, now.
Iron Hammer will conjure a yellow orb in his hand and toss it up, creating an energy field around all 6 of you. Stenwick, what is this?
So, do we all roll wisdom saving throws?
Yes, unless you would like to willingly fail.
I would like to beat it if I can.
Okay.
I rolled a 15. Is that enough?
I rolled a 15 too.
I rolled a 19.
Well, it doesn't really matter because Mickelson got a 20 and Parts got an 18.
Fuck.
That's just a base roll.
Fuck.
Now, do you want to tell me again, what is this?
It was something to protect all parties involved in the conversation that's about to take place.
Yeah, just to keep us safe.
To keep you safe, maybe. I don't think that was for me. What's going on?
Come to my attention over the course of my investigation these last couple weeks that I haven't been made privy to all of the information regarding what I'm looking into. I was hoping that maybe you could fill me in. Maybe there's something you know that I don't.
I guess it depends on what you want to know. Although I assume you already have that question.
Maybe. But first things first, I'm wondering if over the course of your investigation, if you found your way up to Cirrus.
No. We have not been to Cirrus.
Are you familiar with there being any agents of New Haven who have been there recently? Besides us, of course.
No. Stenwick, I know that it's new to both of us. But we know next to nothing about Cirrus.
What did you do at Illuminique?
It was just to make sure everything was taken care of.
Yeah.
Insight check.
Go ahead.
17.
Yeah, he's somewhat lying. DuPont sent us just to make a quick glance at everything. Make sure everyone's safe there and there's no astral funny business still happening.
And what did your investigation yield?
Could you roll me a perception?
Can this roll as well? I wanted to look to see if there's any damage to their clothing. Any rips, tears, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Fuck. 8.
He will explain that they were there just to make sure everything was set up fine, but as you look him over, he seemed to have cleaned himself up pretty well, but you can't help but notice a couple scratches on his uniform, some dry patches, dark in color.
See any action? I know the lands here, especially on foot, can be pretty dangerous.
Random animals, beasts. I'm sure you've run into many.
Yeah, definitely. Anything good?
Oh, yeah. Some real big, nasty ones.
Yeah, we've seen our fair share, that's for sure. What are you doing next? I spoke to the ones running the outpost here. They said you went to talk to them and they sent you away. So, now what?
Well, now we're just collecting berries, getting ready for the trek back home.
You're heading home from here?
Yeah, might as well. They wouldn't allow us to do a quick checkup or anything, so we're just gonna see what DuPont's got. Although I figure next would probably be the Oasis, right?
Well, we just came from the Oasis, actually. We're heading to New Haven right now.
Oh, great. I'm
I
sure.
didn't know if you had noticed there's a doorway, a portal near the outpost here that takes you pretty close to New Haven. Thinking maybe we could go back together.
You know what? That could work. We were a little taken aback by that. But
Nice.
Yeah, we've got a boat docked, but any faster way is fine with us.
Do you come over alone, or did Nelson or anyone on the other side come with you?
Nelson, oh, you know him.
I do. Yeah, I've been here already.
Yeah,
What you're doing, just more successfully.
Get fucked, losers.
All in good faith, all in jest.
of course. Yes, no, we just took the boat ourselves. Peter, are you ready? Yes, sir. I'm all set to go. You can see Mickelson is a little short with patience right now.
Yeah, you seem a bit on edge. What's wrong?
Nothing, just ready to get back. You can
Can I
see.
insight that? Check that?
I won't even make you
Yeah.
roll. I'm going to say you can see some veins bulging out of his forehead. All four of you can see this.
Does he seem like he's about to attack us, or he's just irritated, or Son.
Irritated. His hands are completely free, not reaching towards anything.
okay?
Well, after you guys, we can start heading back, and we can give you directions how to get to that portal. Talk maybe a little bit.
Sure. If you don't mind, if I could just talk to Peter real quick.
Sure. DM, how far are we from where that New Haven base was, with the dead people in the tree?
Yeah, I'd say a little under an hour.
Is that on the way, though? Is that on the way to the outpost?
No, that's further east.
Yeah, actually, Peter, whenever you two are done talking, I have a gift for you. Something I picked up on my journeys. I thought you'd like it.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, all right. You guys do your thing, and we'll just hang out, and whenever you're ready to go, we'll get out of here.
They will head over to the other side of the berry bush. Just for a minute, just a quick conversation.
And I'm going to walk over to Penelope then. You still have those potions?
I do. I was just wondering if we need to them somehow. I feel like Nicholson isn't telling the truth here.
I also agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that he would willingly take a potion.
No, but Iron Hammer,
He would definitely take a drink from.
would.
I've got.
Very expensive wine that Iron Hammer's been lugging around.
We have the wine. I have ice giant liquor.
That's pretty cool. But I would love it if we could burn through some of Ian's alcohol while he's not here.
True.
Over his
He's
dead body.
Does that sound good to you, Iron Hammer? If you're willing to, just share a little bit of your drinks?
Boy.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
If you want to mix up a couple, we'll just make sure that we take the ones that aren't like that. And we'll try to make it after they're mixed up, seal them back as best we can to make it sealed. They've been unopened.
Oh, we're
Okay.
giving them a whole bottle.
Yeah, between the two of them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Drink it, pass it back and forth.
Iron Hammer will pop out 3 bottles, and one of them you can hide the potion in, shake it up a bit. And thankfully, it does not change the color since it's already a very dark port. And after a minute, the 2 guards will return and say that they are ready to head out.
All right. So, since we were in the business of gifts, picked up some of this wine along the way. I'm going to pop the cork for one and just take a sip, hand some over to Felix.
Glug glug.
I'm going to take my own and pop the cork or chugging it.
And I hand the one bottle over to Peter.
Ooh, this looks good.
Now, that's not your gift. That's just a preface.
Mickelson will say, that's right, and snatch it out of his hands and uncork it.
Go around.
He'll take a couple swigs as...
drink some of mine as well, but kind of nurse it. Make it seem like I'm drinking more than I am.
Mm-hmm.
Do the old tongue on the top trick, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see them. They are not holding back. Peter not taking as much. He's still a young boy. But you guys can take swigs as you make your half-hour walk down south.
And it is so cool to see you guys. Like, it's so awesome to see a friendly face, like a familiar face, especially at a place like this. It's like there's nothing but those creatures with the long-ass freaking arms. Do you see those?
Yeah, those were a little fucking weird, but
Yeah.
honestly, it is very nice to see you too. I was wondering how long it would take until we'd meet back up again, and I am glad to see you.
Likewise, it took way too long. Wow, he's actually telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Who is saying this? Mickelson.
That's Mickelson.
Wow. Hey, I was wondering if you thought about Van Dorn at all on your guys' trip out here, or if you came across where I buried him.
I have. It's a shame.
You recognize his dog, right?
Oh. Wow. I mean, he's not a small dog, but Ravioli, wow.
Yeah, he's.
That's not his name.
What?
His name isn't Ravioli.
Thank to his Felix here adopted him out of the kindness of his heart. Believe it or not, didn't want to see another dog on the street.
I am
Adopt,
glad.
don't shop. That's what I always say.
I appreciate that. It's nice seeing Ravioli once again.
Yeah, he gets plenty of attention. They always remember he's there. But yeah, I was just curious. Do you know why he left? I had my theories, but the more that I'm out here, the more I kind of second guess what they were.
Well, from what he said, he just wanted something different. He wanted to get away from the guard life. But
You feel that way yourself?
The more and more I think about it, these missions, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like we're all just kind of a pawn.
I get that impression too sometimes.
What does Mrs. Mickelson think of you being out here?
She didn't accept it too well. I don't know if she accepted it at all. I'll have to deal with that Spitfire when we get back.
Interesting. Do you? My memory on this is a bit foggy. Do you remember how DuPont felt? How the king felt about Van Dorn leaving? We were all kind of devastated. I remember that much.
Of course. I mean, we had a couple nice nights there before he left. But I never felt like the king was sad.
Yeah.
It was more irritation.
Yeah. Are there, I don't know, any good things that stand out to you about the work that you've done for the king, though? I mean, there's got to be some pretty rewarding stuff in there. You know, missions that you think were really for the good of the kingdom, things like that. Anything that, you know, it's like you're doing good work.
He doesn't answer.
Nothing comes to mind.
I mean, it's been great seeing all of these different places, but...
Yeah. I mean, being out here is pretty cool. I get that. You know, far and wide, a lot of really cool missions. Visiting the Tyrant's base, you remember that fondly?
I remember it. Why do you ask?
Oh, I just making conversation.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's great seeing all these places, but at a certain point, it makes me think, how much do we really need to see? How much do we really need to get up in these people's faces?
Peter, do you feel the same way?
Yeah. I've just kind of always gone with what was said. I mean, I enjoy it. But it can get a bit stressful.
DM, I don't remember what all was written in Oliver's journal.
And also because I don't remember who was Oliver.
That is Peter's grandfather.
Oh, Oliver Parks.
Oliver Parks. Yeah.
As per King DuPont's request, please find this message of utmost importance. The Astrals have returned. 3 of us left the base near the cherry blossom tree and escaped into a hollowed one. The beast must have dug it out ages ago. Pray for our return.
Peter, I found something that I think you might be interested in. Actually, in this forest, the time I was doing my initial investigation here. I'm going to pull out the journal and just toss it to him. It used to belong to a man named Oliver Parts.
Oliver?
He was stationed here.
My great-grandfather. He'll open it up and start flicking through, reading through random entries. He was here. Lawrence, why was he here? Has no answer again.
I do agree with Nicholson. It feels like we're pawns. Seems like we're several generations of pawns. Sons of pawns. Great-grandsons of pawns.
You can see Mickelson, the veins bulging, as well as his face getting redder and redder.
It's just us out here, Lawrence. If there's something you really want to say, now's the time to say it.
We were in Illuminate. We didn't just search. We were sent to reestablish. You can see Peter look at him with horrified. Lawrence, you said not to say anything. We just talked about this.
Reestablish.
Yes. In the name of New Haven.
What did that entail exactly?
I don't know what all he has planned. In the grand scheme of things. But I know he has plans for each of these outposts. Stenwick, can I tell you something?
I'm all ears.
I lost my cool up there. One of the shopkeepers. He didn't deserve it.
Did that motherfucker kill Perry?
What happened?
I said that in character.
I don't think he's dead. I hope he's not.
I'm going to look at him and say, what did you do? All the while, I'm going to cast my Produce Flame cantrip. My hands are going to light on fire.
Hey. They wouldn't
You're
give
running out of time to answer.
They wouldn't give us answers. I had to take it by force. I don't feel good about it. But I did it.
You're going to feel real bad about it here shortly.
I know I'll have to live with it.
There's a lot more punishment than just living with the things you've done wrong, Lawrence.
Are they wearing armor?
Yes. They're both wearing New Haven garb and armor.
Okay.
So what? What do we do? What are you gonna do? Turn me in? It's what he sent me for.
We, as guards, have a responsibility. We need to be set to a higher standard than everybody else.
You tell that to DuPont.
I plan to. We're going to be in New Haven shortly. I plan to say all the things that I should have said a long time ago.
Good. Because it looks like the portal's here.
Where do you stand once we get to the other side of this portal?
I stand where I always have, and I hope you will too.
So you're going to continue on your little trips here? You're going to reestablish these places?
No, we go back to New Haven first.
No, well, after we're done there. Is that what you're going to be doing?
We'll see what Clifford says.
That's
Won't we?
not what I asked. So you are just a pawn? A spineless little pawn?
You can see him shake even more and more.
What are you going to do?
Go
You're
into
going to
the
do to me
portal.
like... You're going to do to me like what you did to that poor shopkeeper?
Get to the portal, Lawrence.
No, I'm curious. You know, tough man. Likes to fight poor defenseless shopkeepers. Let's see what he does against someone that can actually, fight back.
He pulls a fist back.
Come on, right here.
Mickelson, you know what's good for you. You and Parts will leave now, and we'll be right behind you.
Parts will pull the back of his jacket. Come on, it's not worth it. We've got more. We've got more to do. And
Just like I said, spineless.
Mickelson will put his fist down and spit at your feet, and the two of them will walk through the portal.
I'm gonna whip before they get through the portal. I'm gonna whip my robe open and piss on him. Piss through the portal. Everything.
Pissing through the portal. That's a good idea.
It'll go through the portal, and you can see in the interdimensionalist side of everything, the steam just comes off.
Oh. You know that don't smell good.
Mm-mm. And the two of them are in front of Bromnus's.
I'm gonna kill him.
I know.
It would have been easier for me to just do it here.
There's a place for them, and it's not on the other end of
It's in the nine hells.
our swords. We bring them back to Cirrus. We let the people of Cirrus decide what to do with them, or the people of the Illuminati outpost, to get justice for those people. But this gets fixed by cutting the head off of the serpent. And the head is King DuPont.
Oh, so there's that green light.
Pretty good at cutting things.
I'm pretty good at
We
doing other things to things. I can't cut. I don't have a sword.
we can figure out why they're doing what they're doing. We need to dismantle this machine.
I'm gonna cook Mickelson alive in his armor, just so you're aware.
I got the strong impression that was what you wanted to do.
Might not be today, might not be tomorrow, but it's going to happen.
We only have a few moments here. We need to decide how we're proceeding before we enter their company again.
I'm gonna treat them the same way I've treated them, and that's how it's gonna be. Either he's gonna hold his cool, or he's gonna make my life a whole lot more fun. Because I'm not worried about him at all. Like he said, he's a pawn.
What if I tell them we parted ways here? What if I follow them to New Haven with them and you take the boat south? Meet us in New Haven eventually, but
I can beat
No
you to
terms.
New Haven.
oh,
That's what
it's
I was, yeah.
true. I don't know if it would be wise that we all enter King DuPont's castle together.
I think it would be more wise for us to do it that way.
I think it's important we do it on our own terms. And I think that the element of surprise is necessary.
I think sending you alone is dumb.
Well, then send one other with me, and the other two can meet us.
It's Stenwick. I've followed you into death before. So if you need someone to accompany you, I'll follow you.
Another way to be able to communicate, it would work out well. But right now, we don't have that. I know Ironhammer has a sending stone. But do any of you have the ability to communicate with any kinds of spells?
Ironhammer can use sending.
And you can respond, right? It's 25 words. It's essentially the same as the sending stone.
Yes.
Penelope and I go, we say we parted ways. Very clearly, we seem to have a difference of opinion, at least maybe in their eyes. And it maybe gives us a little bit of leverage when we enter, lead them to believe that we're coming around, that we are willing to maybe work with them. In the meantime, you and Ironhammer can be our second of the two-prong approach. We can communicate back and forth, weak points from inside, and the two of you can be our element of surprise.
I mean, I can get the two of us in there completely unnoticed.
There's 4 of us, and besides, I want to have a conversation with DuPont.
If that's what you think's best.
There was no scenario within which I think it's a good thing that I talked to DuPont, but it's a necessary thing. It's something I need to do. And yeah, I think this might be our best idea.
All right. Well, I will back you in this, but I suppose if it goes south, you'll be the first one to regret it.
Maybe I already do. Hey, you're a good guy, Felix. In case I don't get the opportunity to tell you later. I know that you put up this front. It's not a front. You are as chaotic as you act, but
I'm chaotically good.
There's a kind part of you. It's sometimes hidden, sometimes intentionally, but thank you for coming this far with me.
Well, I haven't had much of a choice.
I extend my hand to shake his hand. This whole time I've been avoiding shaking his hand because I think that it's disgusting, but I'm going to do it anyway.
I'm going to spit into my palm.
Ugh.
Just a fucking big, nasty loogie. And before Stenwick can even react, just grasp it.
I don't react. Unflinching, I grab his hand back. Ironhammer, it's been fun. So yeah.
Yeah, you too.
Penelope, we've jumped headfirst into stupid decisions for too many times already, but let's add one more.
Sounds like a plan.
I'll see you guys in New Haven. I jump through the portal.